do it. Man, it was not working. Hello, guys. Just a minute. I need to add the source there now. So yeah, it's from this one. Of course, it was not working because we were setting everything up right before the stream. Just a minute. Hi, guys. Hi, Dick.
That was the coolest version of For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica I've ever heard.
Yeah, so guys, this song is called Mnohaelita, and it says, like, we can translate it literally like many years, which means wishing many years of life. So that's a traditional Ukrainian song that is being sang or played on birthdays. Provided to us by Prometheus UA. Thank you very much, Prometheus, for working on the content and on bringing Ukrainian culture, more Ukrainian culture to rollers and to me too, because I don't know a lot of things about Ukrainian culture, sorry, at least much less than you do. So guys, Jake will join us in 10 minutes. Roman, ideally in 10, but I still need to get a hold of him because he's having his birthday party today. Well, without alcohol, but a lot of friends are gathered there in his place. I've been there for 4 hours today. Pretty awesome. Johnny F D is also there. I have a video for you to show you tomorrow, probably from that. Yeah, I'll actually post it. But of course, I could have shown it today, but we were dealing with the sound here. You gotta tell me if you hear me, if you hear Dick. Dick, please say something.
Hello, 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 everybody.
Yeah, so you could hear the browser before you could hear the song. Hey, Greg Terry's there. So how you doing,
Papa
Greg?
Sticks Guns himself.
Papa Sticks Guns. I remember when he was getting out guns there on the stream. Yeah, not once, I think. Plus plus. Okay. No? What do you mean no? Guy plus plus guys, you're
That's
great.
not helpful.
Yeah. Sound is good. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that was not helpful. Anyway, um, I think you will be able to hear my old echo flow when I'm speaking, but when I'm silent, you won't be hear it. Let's check. It yeah, it was there, but then noise cancellation worked and it disappeared.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's getting better thanks to the tech genius Dick Dawson here. Please applaud him, guys, there in the chat, because he saves my ass. Not for the first time already. Yeah, streaming from MacBook is not easy comparing to Windows PC. So anyway,
It's
it's
easier,
working.
but
It's working.
it's just a change for you. But yeah.
It's a change. Yeah. Maybe it's easier. Зачитка тільки Dick в 240p. Yeah, everything is cool, but Dick is in 240p. Yeah, for some reason.
I don't get that. Yeah.
Collab cam. It's collab cam, man. It's shit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not.
I have a Mac Studio with an ultra processor and fiber internet and a high quality Logitech webcam. This is not fair.
I think it's on my side because I'm on Wi-Fi now, and we're not gonna have the best connection probably. But guys, at least
I look like Kermit the Frog trying to hide his identity in a whistle pointing video or something.
Okay, Dick. Well, our main guests are still not here. Can you please tell us how's your life going? How is the shills and anything? How's your parenting?
Going good. Parenting wise, my son, for those that don't know, he's 17. He's on the autism spectrum, so he's a little younger. And he just had wisdom teeth pulled, and he's over being babied by his grandma right now, hanging out with her. So, yeah, he spent one day with his mom, and that didn't work out well. So it was, do you want to come home to me, or do you want to come and, go and see grandma? And he decided he was going to go and get babied by grandma for a couple of days. So, they're having milkshakes and soft food and scrambled eggs and, whatever she can figure out that he can, get into. But yeah. And I mean, he's taking it really well. Like no bad behavior from it. No, he's just dealing with it really well. So happy dad.
That's good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
on the shills, we're about to hit 10,000 subs. So getting pretty excited. You can head over to the shills at the shills and give us a sub if you want. I wouldn't mind.
Let me show it on the screen and actually practice with me showing anything on the screen on this laptop.
Yeah.
Okay, the shills. Where are you guys here? Let me check in the list of my subscriptions, of course. 9,730 subscribers. Awesome.
Yep.
Just 270, even less than that left. Because it doesn't show us all of it. Great show, guys, you have there. And you do professional work, man. Thank you.
I do try. Some say I take things too far, but I don't agree with that. It's just always chase more in life. Always chase better. Always learn. Always improve. Always grow. Right?
Yeah. I totally agree. This is why I pushed myself hard into stress for the last week. Because I wanted all here and now. And I even scratched my car yesterday. Fuck. This was like, shit. I was so stressed and angry, and I was trying to get out of the parking lot, which was so stuffed that even the way in was blocked by a car, and I was trying to get somehow, and there was a wooden pillar there, and I got into it and scratched this size of part of my car. Not that big, not that noticeable, but anyway, very unpleasant thing.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. That's a bummer.
But I will look at that scratch from now and remember that I need to take things slowly. Like, that's the rule, because you need to manage your stress by actually putting the things into order, and
Yeah.
actually do everything in different
I call it the
times.
3 deep breath rule. Anytime you find yourself getting worked up by something, 3 deep breaths, get back to it.
Yeah, but it's not like it's the amount of tasks I need to do not over one day, let's say, but over weeks. I'm trying to legalize my volunteer work right now and my YouTube work too. That's these also the power outages. But
Yeah.
I learned a good lesson yesterday. Uh, I was also I also had my wife helping me to figure that out. Um, so I'm grateful to her. So, guys, 2 minutes before our guests join us, so I need to call Roman right now, or Lila.
Well,
She's also there. So,
Jake just popped in.
oh, Jake is already here.
He
Just a
just showed
second.
up.
Oh, I don't have
Yeah.
hey, Jake, just a second. I still cannot hear you. I just need to add another collab cam source. I forgot to do this, but it's going to be pretty fast. No problem here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
already done.
well. I had waved and I was waiting for Rick, and then I was like, well, there's obviously a miscommunication here, so I'm gonna do it. Good to see you again, Jake.
Hey. We are.
We are.
Hello, Jake. Now I can hear you. And I think, wow, I think. Yeah, it's good to see you. I see.
We're just putting on a clinic on how it's done today, people.
Yeah, Jake, it's just a lot of power outages happening for the last 2 weeks, and I'm trying to figure out how to stream not from my PC, which is on Windows, but from MacBook. And Dick is an expert on that, so he was helping me out to deal with it, and it's all, so much stress. Okay, guys, I'm calling Roman right now. I'm gonna mute myself. You please have a small chat here, okay?
Sure. So I'm about 2 hours, 3 hours outside of Vancouver. I'm just on the west. Yeah, so I'm just on the west side of the Rocky Mountains, slightly going up, or I think we're about 1,500 feet up or something like that. Yeah. It slips out every now and then. I don't speak a lot of Canadian, but every so often it does. Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you guys, but people cannot hear Jake.
Yeah, we gotta
Fix that.
Yeah, so
No. Like
no,
they
it's
cannot hear you at all because we need to route. I think how did we do the Collabcam 1 route? And do you remember?
well, like, do you see Jake's in your audio mixer? Do you see his
Yes.
little meter flashing?
Yes, it's flashing when Jake speaks. We can.
And you've got him added to this scene.
He's already in this scene, so
yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, it should just work. Go to the gear wheel in the audio mixer for Jake, and make sure that he's got his output like maybe it's monitor only, not monitor and out.
Monitor and output. Jake, can you please say something now?
Do you want me to leave and come back?
No, just a test now. Thank you for saying that. So, guys, please give us a plus if you could hear Jake there. I think it should work because it was monitor only without output. So, yes, we have a plus. Reset? No. No need to reset.
Yeah, there's
wonderful. People can hear me now.
Yeah, I see. No, they say no.
There we go. There he is. Yep.
Yeah,
okay, we're good. Good. All right.
Awesome. So when Roman joins, I need to do the same with him. I will. But we're sorting it out pretty quick today, thanks to you, Professor.
Happy birthday, Roman.
Roman is there, but people still can't see him. Just give me a
Yeah,
second.
nobody can see you or hear you yet, so I probably shouldn't have done that. Rick will sort it out. But Jake, everybody can hear you now, so you can tease me about speaking Canadian again, and everybody will hear it this time.
There's certain words that I would say, and like other Americans would make fun of me for, just being from the Midwest. And sometimes, I don't know, if I said like the word refrigerator or something, people would be like, "Why are you saying that so weird?"
Yeah.
Okay, Roman, now you're here. Please say something.
Yay!
Monitor device. Just a second. Just
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Almost there. Almost there, my friend. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Just a second. Monitor and output. It's done. Awesome. Okay, Roman, people can hear you now, I guess, and they will confirm that in the chat. Please, guys, give us a plus when you hear Roman. Roman, happy birthday, my friend. Once again, we're happy to see you here.
Sorry, happy what? Happy birthday?
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thanks. Okay, thanks. Something else?
I don't know. Maybe you wanna. Yeah. Jake, I'll give you the mic.
Roman, how old are you going to be?
32.
32 years young. Oh, that's a good year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Rick,
okay.
Rick, how old are you?
I'm
What?
33. Yeah.
Okay.
almost Roman's age, just a bit older. Roman, we interrupted you. You were saying.
Yeah, it's okay. But first of all, I want to say I really appreciate to see you, Dick Dawson and Jake, bro. Finally, we met in the stream because most of the time I send Jake some short video maybe or receive some answer from other people's or in comments. But right now, finally, we in one virtual but still in one room gathered together. And,
yeah, we'll have to do this again sometime.
For sure. I believe it's gonna be a great idea, and the rollers, right? We're on your channel right now.
Yeah,
Rick.
Rollers are watching.
Yeah, so the rollers, hey guys. So it's a pleasure as always to see you here again, and yeah, what's up?
Yeah, they will. They are really happy to see you there. I see it in the chat. Of course, love to see Roman smile. Yes, Roman was smiling a lot today. He's
cool.
Yeah, Roman, please tell us about your day. I've been there, but I want to hear it from you.
Actually, it's a crazy day because I don't know, somehow in magician way I'm not on the close to the front line. I'm still in Kiev. Have some more opportunity for my recovery, and I try to use that opportunity to celebrate my birthday, to gather all the people who support me the most in Kiev. I mean, and yeah,
Johnny
you
FD
can
on the
see
background.
Yeah, you can see this, my little bro. Yeah, it's great opportunity because I try to compare this birthday with my previous when I was on assault operation, and after that I was in hospital again. It was my third time, I believe. So it's way better. It's way better to sit in here in warm company. But of course, being in storm, it's like different kind of celebration. So I really glad that I have this honor to feel this different experience in my life. I try to see it from this angle.
Pretty cool. And
so Roman, you've gone from being in a trench on your birthday to in the hospital on your birthday. Now you're finally in Kyiv with friends. So let's try and project out a year in the future. Let's think positive, and hopefully the war will be over by your next birthday, and we can have a big celebration.
I believe I'm not good at prediction because I wasn't predict to spend such time with such awesome people offline and online, and I wasn't even suspect that I will be alive, and I had so long life. That's why I, I don't want to be rude, but I don't want to predict anything because like my superpower is maybe about being appreciated today, and that's all I have. That's all I have, and that's all I try to be in pleasure and just appreciate it. But if just pretend it, of course. I don't know. I have so crazy life. I can't predict. I can't predict it in 1 year ahead.
I can
I'm just
imagine.
thinking positive. Got to manifest the future.
Yeah. Yeah. Good words there for sure.
Definitely a good idea. And actually, Roman, I would like to how do you compliment? Yes, compliment your art, because I've seen your art today, more paintings and the sculptures. And yes, I'm gonna show them in the video because I made it today, and you told me it's okay. But now you know that
Yeah.
your art is something, and you know it from rollers because they enjoyed it a lot. So
Yeah.
I would really like to show it. Jake, have you seen Roman's art already?
Did Roman do some body paint art?
No.
A good joke. Good joke.
Meow.
You got to think about that, Roman. You got to think of making that kind of art because ours was pretty successful. Dick Dawson is going to get one of the paintings. By the way, Dick,
Yeah.
that one was sent to you and all the other winners already last Sunday, so 6 days ago. You're going to get
Okay.
it in just a week or two. So
Oh, it'll time out perfectly with the signed Canadian flag that Greg Terry's sending over, and my whole background will be completely cool. It's going to be awesome.
that's nice. Jake, I actually you're here with Roman in one room, and I know that you've been a fan of Roman's work. Or a supporter at least. I'm not sure that a fan is. You should say that yourself, right? I should not state things like that. But I know that you've been supporting him, and for that I thank you. And you're now here together, so maybe you have some questions for Roman. I'm sure you should have at least one or two, right?
Well, just going back a year and a half, to the siege of Bakhmut, Roman was putting out pretty consistent videos in the English language. So I'm always on Twitter looking for copyright-free videos that I can share in my YouTube updates. And my audience just really appreciates the human aspect, seeing a real face, hearing a real voice, knowing a real person's name from the war zone. And unfortunately, there's 40 million people in Ukraine, and there's not a lot of people just vlogging from the cities, from the front lines in English. Lots of people in Russian or Ukrainian putting out content, and subtitles work when you need them, but being able to communicate to an English audience over a billion people around the world. I think there's just tremendous value in that. So I appreciate what Roman was saying and what he was doing when he was fighting on the front lines. There's just so many people, Roman, even today, there's still, I still get comments. What about Roman? What's Roman doing? How's Roman doing? People think about you. They care about you. And my response is Roman's doing great. He's currently, trying to recover, but it's a wonderful aspect. When this live stream's over, I'll share it on the community tab, my YouTube channel. People are going to see it. People are always happy to see you and hear from you, Roman.
They are.
Agreed.
I can confirm.
Yeah, we get questions as well over on the shills. Absolutely. People want to know.
So, Roman, what do you have going on right now? Just give us some general life updates.
I just try to find the way to heal my brain, because actually, from my opinion, surgeon in Ukraine, they become really productive and really successful. They can put your body together even after bad injury, but still they can't heal the brain, the invisible injury. It's really challenging for them, and maybe lack of some I don't know, some stuff, some medical stuff, or some scanner for brain or stuff like that, do this job pretty impossible. But in my case, it become like it's not become better. It had the opposite way. Still, I don't think it's good time to give up. And I just try different way to fight against TBI, like traumatic brain injuries, and the PTSD consequences. That's why when Rick was at my place today, he saw like some part of my rehabilitation, because this is like the most effective way for rehabilitation, for my opinion, is is just create some to to show my pain through the painting and to sculpt. For different people it's going to be in different way, but right now I try to think how to spread this information between soldiers and just regular civilian, because it really helps. Some art really helps to describe your feeling without finding the right words. This is very important, because even for me, I believe I have like a pretty wide vocabulary, but even for me sometimes it's pretty hard to describe all the feelings which I had.
Roman, would you say that the creative outlet helps you then maybe vocalize or verbalize things to help work through it? You think it's a step to get there? Do you see it that way?
Yes and no. Yes, it helps, and no, it's not the step. It's like separate phase, because for me, such procedure, painting and sculpting and writing the book as well, because I do it at the same time. It really helps, because I can do it, and I don't care about results. I don't care about is it perfect or not. I just try to let it go, all the bad emotions, and during this process I have this luxury feeling, like emptiness and calmness, and just relax.
So the word in English you're describing is therapeutic.
Thank
You're
you.
going through a
Long
form
story
of
short, yeah.
you're going through a form
Thank you,
of
Jack.
therapy. There's lots of different forms of therapy, but the benefit is it's therapeutic for your health.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And it works for soldiers and for civilians, because I've been in hospital for almost a year, and I'm really like pro in this area. I was pro on anti-tank, then in sniper, then as assault infantry, and now I'm really pro and know how rehabilitation could be. And I saw so much soldiers and so many situations, but they was never been so happy while they sculpting something, some animals, some plates or cups. They was like really children, and it was really time for pure happiness. А зачиніть, будь ласка, одне вікно. Yeah.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that it was therapeutic. That it is therapeutic, because it helps you right now, and you say that today you're in a very good shape, surprisingly for yourself, right?
Yeah. No, a few times, of course, I feel like it will come again, like my knocking out. like darkness in the eye and just lost the conscious. But I don't know how I go through it successfully without falling down.
Hmm. But anyway, you didn't fall down today. That's good. Maybe it's an improvement. Yeah. By the way, can you show us that thing that you're drinking from? This was a very cool
Yeah,
thing.
have you
today.
gone vampire, dude?
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
What? Yeah.
He's got vampire today, guys, and there were kids with these things drinking, drinking the red thing there. So it was funny to see that today.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe you want to share what do you have there in that thing?
Because I had PTSD, I can't be normal even on my party. So that's why I find some way to feel more comfortable, because such things. Okay, this is the place. So such things in my hospital was surrounded me for many months, and I need some time to let it go.
Yeah.
And yes, I just need some time. Okay, we no rush, guys, no rush, please.
The stream
And,
just became an Anne Rice novel, Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Lots of surprise, friends. Lots of surprises.
Oh yeah. Is Johnny good therapy? Roman, is Johnny a good therapy? Johnny
who?
FD.
Hi, Johnny. Yeah, he's a funny. He's my little bro. Yeah.
Yeah, he was giving us
It's good
some
because
fun.
last time we see each other on Thanksgiving's Days party at his apartment, it was last year. So yeah, it's pretty long. And right now, I don't know. He's in Kiev. Actually, speaking about future birthday, I really want to organize. Is it gonna be birthday or just party when we all gathering together in some place? I hope in Ukraine for sure. And we could see and do some live stream in the evening. But we're gonna sit in one room and see each other for real. It's gonna be really cool and honor for me.
Yeah. Guys, I want to ask you to direct questions to Roman or Jake or Dick or no, not to me, guys. Not today. Just
Rick.
do it. And you please there's just a comment from Leslie Bow there in the chat that she sent you $30 for your birthday. And I actually need to put I still haven't done it yet. I need to put your PayPal there so people can wish you a happy birthday. And you could do whatever with those money. I know that you would like to support soldiers too, so anything you want. You told me that before, right? Yeah, so let me guys do it. I'll find it and quickly edit. And I will ask Jake, the next question. If Jake has one.
Well, since we mentioned Anne Rice, hypothetical, you're dying of cancer or whatever, and you get offered the gift to become a vampire. Would you reject it and just die, or would you want to have a second life?
I have one question before I can answer. Is this a world where I could be a good vampire and not have to be, a bitey jerk about it and like go about it in other ways? Or do I have to accept being a bitey jerk, right?
All right, let's pretend if you've ever seen the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, let's say that you're Angel. You still have your soul, but you still have the thirst. Like you still have to feed. Like you can't get around that. Plus, you can't go out in the daylight. You can't touch crosses, holy water, all that stuff.
But that part of things wouldn't really change much for me. But that's a tough one. Roman, what do you think, dude? What do you think here?
It's pretty tough question because right now if I'll die today or soon, Of course, I've decided to be a vampire with such superpower because I could kill many terrorists in this world and decide and stop so much conflicts and
You can only fight at night, though.
what
Or you got to
else?
have some really nice sunblock.
Yeah, but that could get you in trouble with the socially conscious, right? How deep that sunblock is.
Yeah, but power of the vampire will be so useful on the battlefield.
Yeah, you got a really good point there, right?
Or guys, or even better, just destroy or eliminate few people who made the real decision about war, because as we know, some old guys, like for example, I don't want to be rude, but maybe Mr. Biden said something to Mr. Motherfucker Putin, and they could stop. I believe that they can negotiate and they could really stop anything. So if I had opportunity to eliminate, for example, Mr. President of our stupid neighbor's country, it's gonna be just one shot and everything's over.
Yeah, you've convinced me. I'd go for it, and I'd be a warrior for good at night.
What about Pure Lady, Mr. Dick? What about Pure Ladies?
Well, yeah, okay. Jake, what would you pick, buddy? What would you go for?
Yeah, I'd take it. For the shot at immortality and super strength, super speed, regeneration powers. I mean, the only downside is I got to feed on rats or other kinds of animals.
Yeah, it's like being the Flash, but with a really weird dark side, because you get all that cool speedy stuff out of it, right? That'd be cool.
Well, it's Brad Pitt's character from Interview with the Vampire. He survived by feeding on rats.
Yeah. But I mean, that way you don't have to be all bitey with people, and you can,
I mean, you can be bitey with people if the people are bad, and you're gonna get rid of them anyways.
That's true, right? And then that way you get to do a good thing for society and for yourself at the same time.
These are the important hypotheticals that we need to plan out now, guys.
If we don't make the hard choices, who will, right? Rick,
Exactly.
What would you go, man? What would you do, buddy?
I think I would become a vampire, definitely. So many opportunities, so many, new life colors and liquids that I can consume.
Yeah.
So I would go for it, definitely.
Guys.
Thank you for a good question, Jake.
How one bottle could change the subject of serious stream, right? Like what?
You just never know, right? I sadly have to say goodbye and leave you because I have to get ready for a stream we're doing on the shills after here in a little bit.
Okay, Dick. Thank you for being here.
When you guys are done, if anybody cares to join us, pop on over.
Yep, the shills.
I'll send the links out. Yeah.
Amazing
show.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Roman. I hope the day is great from beginning to end for you. Awesome. Good to see you again, Jake. And thank you very much, Rick.
Thank you very much, Dick, for all the help and being here. You're amazing.
I try. Don't often succeed, but I try. Take care, everybody. Talk to y'all soon.
Take care, Dick.
Bye, Dick.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That was a cool question, Jake.
Yes.
Well, when presented with a difficult question, you can always ask yourself, what would Jesus do? And he did rise from the dead, didn't he? Just saying.
Yeah.
Yes. Smart enough.
Okay. My moderator's saying that there are questions there. Is there a birthday fundraiser for Roman? We didn't have time to prepare it, unfortunately. But Roman can start one now. Roman, what do you think? I can just put your PayPal there and...
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about this idea, but I was so relaxed during this whole day, I forget about it because maybe some people really want to say hi or send some present for me, buy some cake, something, but they are not close to me and they can send some money. But obviously, I want to warn that I will send all this money to guys who give me opportunity to celebrate the birthday, to warriors on the front line, of course. This is only my desire, because I don't need nothing, but my combat fellows need always some drones, some cars, some FPVs, lots of things. So I just want to say that I won't spend this money for me. Maybe for somebody it's going to be a reason not to donate. Maybe, I don't know, but I want to be sincere that I don't need in my situation nothing for me, just for warriors.
Thank you, Roman, for being so generous and Jake, help me with words here. What words should I use in this case?
Roman, you're very selfless. You
Selfless.
put other people first, so that's important.
That's
And
it.
you understand the struggle your entire nation is going through. This is something that I can't understand. I'm perfectly safe living here in America, but to be dealing with everything you two are dealing with, the power outages, the missile strikes, Russian agents are in your country for sure, causing havoc.
Oh, they are everywhere.
People are dying every day, and we hear these reports of the average Ukrainian family. If they have extra money, they just give it to the military. And nobody. I mean, in a country of 40 million, of course, there's going to be some bad apples, some people trying to profiteer for themselves. But the overwhelming majority, 99.9% of Ukrainians, they understand this is a fight for their identity, for their people, for their country, and Russia's not going to win. The only question is how long it's going to take. But all the efforts you guys are putting in, it is going to pay off in the end. Russia will be defeated.
Thank you for these encouraging words, because some days are really dark in here, when we see the tragedies that are happening. And it's been 1 year anniversary of Kakhovka Dam destruction. And stuff like this cannot be going unseen by our mentalities, it's affecting. And what Roman went through is even more affecting. And Roman is usually Roman. You use two colors in your paintings, right? People have seen those paintings, and it's red and black. And you told us that it represents the blood and maybe also the mud or the
dirt, mud, color of trenches and blood. It's always mixed. And that's why I can't think in another way, because right now I can understand how it looked like being just like civilian who had no opportunity to proceed fight in trenches. So right now I could only count on the front line, but it's not something mythological line of trenches. It's just people who stand and who cover us from this creature, from this stupid beast who we all knew what they're gonna do with any city which they conquer. They rape people and kill and torture and destroy all the building and take all the pressure or everything from apartment. And that's why right now I understand that I can't fight now. I can't walk on the street even with some with some confidence, confidently. Yes, that's why I understand only warriors could stop this tragedy and could literally save my life. That's why I understand both situation, from soldier and from civilian, and that's why it's for me it's impossible to think in another way, only to help soldiers we survive. And that's why I had these plans to heal my head and being like negotiator somewhere abroad Ukraine, and try to talk to politics and to just regular people, businessmen, to share with them these stories, but in I believe in some real talking to them, and uh, and share with them this experience, because I believe I will be more profitable than our diplomatic and politicians, because they never was in trenches. They have no such experience, and they only can say, "Oh, it's tough situation in Ukraine," but they actually don't know how tough is it for real. I try to say it without show off, and but this is my plans, because that's why I understand I must do this job, and it will be way profitable than all our like foreigners, diplomatic, who try to do something. They're not in a hurry, but I understand how our guys need everything for today, not for months like later. That's all.
Well, Jake, you have something to add, to respond,
So
because
the title is advocate. You have
Mhm.
a lot of potential to be a strong advocate for Ukraine, talking to people because you do have on the ground experience. Plus, you
Yeah.
speak English, which is important for communicating with most people in the world these days. You don't have to wait, Roman, to talk to people in person. I would encourage you on days where you're feeling
Well,
better to make short form content. You know, use your phone and make like vertical videos, 60 seconds, tell a story, give a message, give your thoughts, share your daily routine, upload it on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Twitter, whatever. And
oh,
if you're willing to, Roman, keep putting yourself out there. Just because you're not in a trench somewhere doesn't mean people aren't going to listen to you or appreciate what you have to say.
Hmm.
I can't I can't believe that I hear it, because it was one of my like problem maybe. I for many months I don't know what to say to people, because previously I understand I can motivate them, I can show them the horrible and the beautiful stuff from real hellish battle, but now I'm just injured soldier who just do nothing. I'm not normal civilian, and I'm not soldier. I'm just something in the middle, and I feel like I'm really
But how
useless.
many
And
how many
yeah,
how many how many people in Ukraine are exactly like you, an injured soldier, feeling the way that you're feeling? You
a lot.
represent a very important group of Ukrainian soldiers. So you still have a valuable perspective that needs to be shared, that people need to understand, and it all helps Ukraine. You don't have to have a big gun and your face covered in mud for people to respect you. So I advocate,
Probably.
once again, keep making content, and people are looking for that human connection. You're very likable. People still a year and a half later consider you a friend, and they
Wow.
enjoy hearing from you when you're capable of doing so.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you very much for these words, because yeah, sometimes you need to hear something. For example, we such thing was with my painting in the Rick's previous stream, when I wasn't even sure it's like an art, but the rollers and the Rick, they explained me that many painting, it wasn't like something realistic. It was just like some expression of pain and of emotions, and it's pretty valuable. But I wasn't think on this situation from this angle. And thank you for that, guys, and Rick. And right now, thank you, Jake, for open my eyes, because yeah, sometimes you just need to hear some words from another person who you respect, and who really help, who really can do a lot with few words.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Jake,
it.
thank you. This was a fantastic advice, the best you could give Roman right now, I think. And Roman, if you start doing this, believe me, it will be the same reaction from people all over the world, as if you were as if you doing it. No, sorry, my English. You know what I mean. The same
I get your point.
that you got been doing it from the front line, from the trenches, and we have a lot of messages there in the chat right now, like this. Like for example, Andreas Lack says, "Roman, speak out. You have such a great energy. Your voice matters, and you're an inspiration, Roman." So people see this. People would love to hear from you more than just like once a few weeks on my stream and somewhere else. If you do those short videos, it won't really take a lot of your time, like daily,
Yes,
just
of course.
or maybe even weekly. This is fantastic, and people completely support this in the chat. And Noel Whelan, thank you for super sticker. You are amazing. This one is addressed to you, Roman. You are amazing.
Wow.
Thank you
very much. I believe.
Jake, guys, by the way, before I will give the mic to Jake, I want to tell you that Roman's PayPal, Roman, it's romantrochimets@gmail.com, right? Your PayPal.
Yeah.
It's in the
Yes.
description of the stream. You can send Roman a birthday present. So thank you for doing that. And Jake,
Thank you.
you need to stay hydrated, right?
Well, I was thinking about opening my Gatorade. Yeah.
Yeah, please do that. And after that, I will.
Gatorade did not sponsor this video.
I even don't know what it is. It's a brand.
You don't know what Gatorade is?
No, we don't have it in Ukraine.
Oh, you don't have it in Europe?
Not maybe in Europe, but not in Ukraine.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Gatorade is probably the most popular sport drink you can buy in America.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I wonder who owns it. Maybe Coca-Cola or Pepsi owns it. I don't know.
But yeah, thank you. Now we know something new. Would like to
Nice.
try it someday. Okay, we had questions in the chat, but before I go to that, Jake, maybe you have another question.
Question? No.
Comment?
You know,
Maybe?
birthdays, getting older. I'm 40 now, and it is kind of weird to think that I'm officially middle-aged. You know, if the average lifespan is something like late 70s, getting to 40, I'm halfway there. Perhaps in the next 40 years, science could explode and we could figure out gene replenishment or something, and I might live to be like 120, 150. But yeah, I do think about my own life and where I want to be and what I want to be doing. And I'm so blessed. Like, I'm so fortunate to be a YouTuber. When you ask middle school kids in America, what do you want to be when you grow up? Middle school kids all say YouTuber. Like, it's like the top 5 job now. You know, 50 years ago, Americans wanted to be firefighters or astronauts, and now they want to be social media influencers. And I don't know if that's a good thing, but I am where a lot of people want to be with my YouTube channel. And I get to wake up and be a force for good, in my opinion. Like, I get to be an advocate for global peace and democracy and standing up to these authoritarian regimes. So I'm committed, and I feel like I have a true purpose, and this is what I do all day, every day, is just try to support Ukraine and defeat Russia, because I think that's the best world for me to live in and the best world for Americans.
And I personally want to thank you, Jake, for joining 69 Sniffing Brigade and dropping that bomb of $1,185,000. That was insane.
1,188,000. So 3,600 people, 3,600 people requested a patch. They paid at least 110. So 3,600 people are going to have a patch with my face on it in their house very soon, and that's a very weird feeling.
Awesome! My congrats! My congrats! Really good job.
But to mail out all these patches, you know, you got to pay for the postage. You got to pay for the patch. It's about $10. So of my fundraiser, $36,000 is just going to be spent on printing the patches and mailing them out.
$36,000.
Damn.
Yes.
Damn.
Has
Well,
to be done, but yeah, crazy.
Are you sure that not 3,600? Is it really that expensive to send 3,600 patches?
So 3,600 patches at $10 a patch to print the patch, pay for postage, mail it out.
Exactly.
It's about $36,000
Ooh,
of my
wow.
1.1 million fundraiser.
That's still a huge sum of money left for the trucks. How many trucks are gonna be dead, Jake?
It could change, but the plan at the moment is 30 trucks, about 600,000, and then the remaining 500,000 is going to be used on drones.
Not only FPV drones. I think Baba Yaga drones probably also, right?
Whatever the guys at the 69th think is best. I'm not picking and choosing. They're handling it.
Well, that's a good budget for drones. So you're not only supporting our military with 30 trucks in just one fundraiser. You amaze me, and your community amaze me, Jake. Huge thanks for such support to our army. It's, you know how it's essential. You know, I am sure. So, thank you.
The nation of Japan just sent 100 vehicles the other day. So my one fundraiser equaled about 1/3 the efforts of the entire nation of Japan.
So GG, brother.
This is amazing.
That's pretty funny.
Okay, guys, it really feels like I wish I could hang out with you forever, but my head starts pain so hard, and
Roman,
I think I should lay down a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you so much
have
for
some
being
rest,
here.
okay?
Before you go,
Yeah, really.
a message from Estelle there in the chat. Thank you for the super chat. Roman, you don't limit yourself. You can be a fantastic advocate for your country and your guys on the front line. I totally agree with that. Personally, from me, I want to wish you a happy birthday, which you're having pretty good today. I know that. And I want to ask you to keep inspiring me and all of us. That's what you are very good at, and thank you for that. Thank you for inspiring me, brother, and keep doing that. Love you, man.
Happy birthday, Roman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope to see you another stream someday.
Yep.
If you're in. Okay.
Yeah.
Next stream, we'll talk about werewolves.
Yes.
I'll prepare something. Okay. Rollers, Jake and Rick. See ya next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Take
Bye,
care.
Roman.
Bye.
I was happy to see you. Jake, do you have maybe another 10 minutes for us to finish the stream?
Yeah, if you want to ask me some more questions, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. Let's see.
Next stream, werewolves. The stream after that, we'll talk about zombies.
Yeah, nice. Well, we see a lot of zombies here in Ukraine these days, wandering around. You've probably seen some videos from the front lines when they are just wandering around, maybe with some severe shell shock or something, just like zombies. Some of those.
The key is you got to aim for the head.
You're right. Exactly. Okay, guys. So if you have, and I'm sure you have questions for Jake, address them to me in the chat and my amazing moderators. Thank you for your work, guys. We'll redirect them to my Discord, and I will ask Jake those questions. So there was a comment from Leslie Bow there in the chat. Can you imagine if the Ukrainian soldiers started drinking those on the front lines? I think you're talking about the blood, the packages. On the front lines, the Russian bloggers would lose their mind. Can we send some to the front? We gotta do this. We gotta troll the Russians and their propagandists. Is Jake going to drive a NAFO truck? That's a very good question.
A lot of people asking me this question, and I don't think I'm going to make it to Estonia this summer. So if these trucks are going this month and next month, I'm not going to be able to make it this summer. But potentially in a future fundraiser,
Mm-hmm.
I might make the trip.
Awesome. Would
It's
be
a
cool.
very long and difficult trip to fly from Vegas to Tallinn. I got to go. It's a 2 connecting flight, Texas to Helsinki,
Hmm.
and then to drive from Estonia to Kiev. That's almost over 20 hours. Then I got to take the train back to Warsaw to fly back to the United States. It'd be 6 solid days of traveling, and I don't think I'm going to get that done this summer.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a complex trip with some complex preparation, I would say, and spendings too. So understandable. I would love to see you here with this convoy. Would be fantastic. But yeah, of course, it's life. It's not that easy to do anything you want, right? So, mm, thank you for that good question. I see that another one has been readdressed at this second and just waiting for it to pop out there. Mm, but Rick, Jack, when not Jack, Jake, that was just a misspelling there. Jake, when is the next time you think you will need to handwrite a letter?
So I put out a short yesterday, and the guys at the NAFO 69th Stiffing Brigade asked me to handwrite a thank you letter to then scan it and send it to them so they can include it in the packages with the patches. And all I had to do was write 5 sentences. Like I typed it out on a keyboard first, printed it off, and then tried to handwrite a thank you letter, and it hurts. I think it's been years
Hmm.
since I've handwritten multiple sentences. You know, when you buy a birthday card, I'm just kind of like a happy birthday, love Jake kind of guy. But, and, you know, I've got Post-it notes on my desk, but to actually write full sentences, it felt really weird. And I think I've gone years without doing it. So it's weird to think about how handwriting is becoming this lost art form. It's something you don't have to do. You can choose to do it. Lots of people enjoy journaling, but I don't do that. So it just was a weird realization I had yesterday as I was trying to write this note that I never handwrite anything anymore. You know,
Mhm.
I just sign stuff and maybe fill out boxes at like the dentist office, but there's no reason to ever write full sentences anymore.
Yeah, you're right. I actually started sending packages to rollers with a handwritten postcard. I mean, I signed the postcard and write a few sentences. So I experienced the same a few months ago when I started doing this. It
Are
was
you
like,
left-handed?
no, right-handed.
Oh,
Are
you
you?
held up your left hand when you said writing, so I was confused.
This one is with my bottle. Also need to stay hydrated. That was an amazing question from Jeroen Van Haren. What would Jake do if he were elected president of the United States of America? That's a good one.
Geez. um, America's in serious trouble. And it's all related to our tax code, our economics. We've had these series of tax cuts over the last 40 years. There was the Reagan tax cuts, the Bush tax cuts, and the Trump tax cuts. And that's why our national deficit is now over like 34, 36 trillion or whatever. Uh, so as the president, uh, we have to change the tax code to tax the wealthy more. This is a very basic thing, but I mean, if you try and talk like this in America, anybody who has money doesn't like you. I'm not really explaining this well, but America long term is in serious trouble unless we reform our tax code.
Mm-hmm.
Conservatives say we'll just cut spending, but every time we have a Republican president and a Republican controlled Congress, they never cut spending. They keep saying they're going to cut spending, but they never cut spending.
Yeah.
So all the spending we have, more or less, needs to be done. And the only other way to balance a budget is to increase revenue. You have to increase taxes, and we need to stop increasing taxes on the middle class and the working class. And rich people need to get back to paying their fair share. You know,
Mm-hmm.
whatever wealthy people were paying in the 80s or 90s under Reagan and Bush Sr. and Clinton, America was doing just fine when the taxes were those levels. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the basic thing. What's the more interesting or fun thing I could do as president? I don't know. That's president of the United States is literally the worst job in the world. It's all character assassination. Like nobody wants to talk about policy anymore. They just want to talk about your dirty laundry. They want to talk about your troubled family members. It's really sad, but
Yeah.
I don't think we have honest debates or discussions in American politics anymore. It's all just character assassination.
Yeah, you're right. So you would also bring that back, right?
Say again?
So you would also like to bring that back, right?
Bring what back?
Some real discussions, some real debates, and not just
I
character
would
assassination.
try.
Yeah.
I would try, but I don't know how we put the genie back in the bottle. Donald Trump is so offensive and so disgusting and so horrible. He's just the most obnoxious crybaby who ever existed. And the sad thing is he's normalized it. I was talking to a woman here in Las Vegas who's 22, and she brought up politics. I didn't bring up politics. And Donald Trump has been a national figure now for 10 years. So, I mean, Donald Trump showed up when she was 12, and she just thinks that this is normal for American politics, that the Republican nominee for president is a convicted felon who cheated on his wife with a porn star and can't operate a charity in New York State because he stole all the money. Like, the list of just stupid, insane things that Donald Trump has done never ends. But there's an entire generation of Americans now who think this is normal.
Yeah. This is crazy.
Having this... Russia's behind all of it. Russia's been the one pumping and fueling Trump in the 2016, the 2020, and they're doing it today. So I'm hoping that when Putin's regime collapses, all these bot farms and social media influencers take a nosedive, and America can start to heal politically.
Hopefully. It's awful Trump unshared in Idiocracy, says Demonic Oblation, who was Holy Oblation before.
Idiocracy is a movie from, I think, like 2006 with Luke Wilson. It's a fantastic movie, but yes, it is scary how quickly we are. Idiocracy is like this comedy dystopian future movie. If you've not seen it, I recommend you check it out. It's a funny movie, but
I need to check it out.
It is sad about what direction America is going in.
Yeah. There was also a super chat from the Man of the Wood. President Biden should land Air Force One for Jake to join the ride for talent. It would be amazing, but I doubt. Yeah, but it would be amazing.
I do think if my YouTube channel was bigger, I think if I had over 1 million followers, I probably would be invited to the White House. There's some other YouTubers with large followings that have been invited to the White House because they want these people to like President Biden and promote President Biden ahead of the election. So I'm just not quite big enough, I think, to get the White House's attention prior to the election. But if I was, I think I would be invited.
Nice. So we need to make you bigger for the next fundraiser.
I'm trying. I'm growing at about 300 or 400 subscribers a day, so I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's a good job. Pretty good. Well, more questions. KP, I really want to see Jake do his sample English as a second language class. I really want to see that throwback. What's a sample English?
Well, on my YouTube channel, if you go to my videos and sort by oldest, the first 2 videos I put up were open class demonstrations from when I was an English teacher in South Korea. So when I graduated college, I lived in a city called Gwangju in the south of South Korea. And I taught elementary school for 6 years. It was a fantastic life. Absolutely loved it. So there are 2 open class ESL demonstrations. If people want to see what I looked like and sounded like, I mean, that would be 12 or 13 years ago now.
Mhm. Good. Like, so people want to see it again. What do you think?
I mean, I could start singing the Days of the Week song and other stuff I did, teaching ESL in elementary school. So,
Got it. Should we go to the next one? What does Jake do for fun? From Sweet 7433. That's a good question. I would also like to know what you do for fun.
I'm a big Magic the Gathering player. I've been playing for over a decade now. These days, I mostly just play online, Magic the Gathering online, but I do have a very large card collection, and I used to go to like competitive tournaments. So if my YouTubing schedule decreases at some point in the future, you might see me appearing at more Magic the Gathering tournaments around the world. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm also a big science fiction fan. I love watching sci-fi TV shows and movies. I recently watched The Three Body Problem on Netflix. Fantastic, fantastic show. It just kind of ends, which is kind of sad. It's just season 1, so I'm gonna have to wait like 2 years for the next season to come out. But highly recommend that show.
Awesome. 3 hands down. Oh,
Three Body Problem.
3 body. Wow, my brain is not good at hearing things.
If you have Netflix, watch this show. It's a fascinating show.
Yeah, I'm subscribed.
I also do play video games to like kind of unwind sometimes, but I don't play anything new. I just replay video games that I've played in the past.
Which one's your favorite?
Well, right now I'm replaying Gauntlet Dark Legacy on GameCube. And this is not a good game. It's a dungeon crawl hack and slash game, but for me, playing for like 20 minutes before going to bed, it's just kind of like relaxing. It's like decompressing.
That's cool.
But I also play the Dynasty Warriors games on PS4. Have you ever heard of the Dynasty Warriors games?
No, I don't think so.
They're the ultimate hack and slash. This is the Three Kingdoms era of feudal China. And you pick one of the kingdoms to play, and you try to conquer all of China, and it's the same game over and over. It's the same battles, but they just keep re-releasing the game with like slightly better graphics, and I keep buying them because I think the game's hilarious to play. It's you get dropped on a map and you kill like 2,000 Chinese people before like the map ends. You're just like this super soldier in feudal China. It sounds weird for me to explain, but it's a very relaxing game for me.
Also, it sounded weird when you say, and you slashed 2,000 Chinese people.
Well, what's weird is, at one point I was playing these Dynasty Warriors on an Xbox in South Korea. And I was saying to myself, I'm an American in South Korea playing a game that was made in Japan about China. I mean, internationalism is fun.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, thank you for sharing. And yeah, really cool to know what you do for fun. Thank you for the good question. Who was that? I actually mentioned the name. So there's a question from Super Chat here. Thank you for the Super Chat. Atomic Criff Master. Rick, thanks forever doing these. Jake, I've always wondered, is that a real bonsai on your set? Is it an elm? Thanks, guys.
No, it's fake. It's from IKEA. It's I mean, it has the same benefits. Just seeing greenery, seeing trees, kind of like improves your mood. So, yeah, I have a couple fake plants in my house, and I still like them. But yeah, they're from IKEA. They're not real.
Awesome. Thank you for unraveling the mystery. It was pretty cool. Thank you for the question, Atomic. Next one. Jake, why are there only 2 political parties, and would it be better with more political parties for the U.S.? This one is from The Pirate.
So in America, we have something called first past the post, which means the person who gets the most votes gets the seat, gets all the representation, wins the election. So in parliamentary systems in Europe, you have proportional representation. If you get 20% of the vote, you get 20% of the seats. People are happy with that. You then have to form coalition governments to get to a majority. In the United States, we don't do that. That's just how they wrote the Constitution 250 years ago. But if let's say there's 4 people running and one person gets 22% of the vote, one person gets 23, one person gets 25, and one person gets 27, the person who got 27% gets to represent everyone for that seat, for that district, for that state, for the country. So in America, it discourages smaller parties. If you hate the guy in charge, you're going to abandon your smaller party to just merge with a bigger one so that you can get the plurality. And I mean, in the first 10 years, like the founding fathers, Hamilton and Jefferson and Madison, they all thought that we'd be a nation of gentlemen, scholars, or whatever, and we wouldn't resort to party politics. They said everyone's going to be independent, everyone's going to be fair. We're great. But within 10 years, I mean, we coalitions formed, the parties formed, and we've been locked in this 2-party system for over 200 years. It can't change because structurally, that's just how the Constitution is designed. So nobody's really happy with their party on every issue, but you kind of just have to pick one or the other, red or blue, and the parties do change slowly over time, but you only get 2 choices. It's never going to change.
And there's no way to change the U.S. Constitution, right?
So to change the Constitution, you need a supermajority vote, 2/3 in both the Senate and the House. You then need a majority vote in 3/4 of the state legislatures. It's really, really hard to change the Constitution. So it just almost never happens. It's only been done like 24 times in the last 200 years. And a lot of those changes were about slavery, and we kind of fought a civil war to get those changes passed.
Got it. So it was only back then. Nothing after that happened to change the Constitution.
I think the last time we changed the Constitution was actually recently, and it was about pay. It was about compensation. It was about like members of Congress can't raise their own salary like for the term they're currently in. But I think the biggest change that was recent was in the 1970s. The voting age used to be 21, and they changed the Constitution to lower the voting age to 18. So that was a good change. And that was done, I think, in the mid-1970s.
Okay, thank you. Good to know, because I don't really know anything about your Constitution or the history of changing it. So something new today for me. Thank you, Jake.
You bet.
Does Jake like Heinlein and Asimov? Yeah.
Asimov, I think that's a game. Asimov?
It's from...
Oh, no, Isaac Asimov is an author. Is he talking or
Yeah, I don't know who is Heinlein.
Asimov is also a musician.
Yeah, probably about game, because we were talking about games, right? But if you're talking about Isaac Asimov, yes, that's an author, and I'm a fan of his the Foundation series of books. Have you read them, Jake?
I have not read them, but I'm familiar. I know the movie I, Robot was based off the short story by Isaac Asimov.
Yeah.
Do robots dream of electric sheep?
Oh,
and they
yeah.
have those 3 core principles. If you were to create a robot with AI, don't harm humans, don't harm yourself. I forget what they are, but I am familiar with the concept.
Yeah, and he actually created the whole series of books interconnected, like the Robot series and the Foundation series then were connected into one bigger picture, and it was mind-blowing. When I read all of those, it was like 8 books that were connected into one story in the end. It was something... Yeah, he was a genius, and he actually put the Foundation for all the science fiction movies and TV shows we have today. Like all those warp drives that we see on Star Trek or on Star Wars, right? They also had them. All of that, and all that you see there in those science fiction movies, also about the robots, he invented that in his head. So some things that we still don't know how they work, he kind of made us believe that they should work this way. So a genius, definitely. Thank you for that question, Mertzi. Next one. What do you and Jake like to eat? Chef asking. Keith Kane. What do you like to eat, Jake?
For breakfast, I usually just have instant oatmeal, like Quaker instant oatmeal, and I have some nuts, some walnuts and almonds. And then for lunch, usually I'll have just like a bagel, cream cheese, maybe a protein smoothie. And then for dinner, I kind of just eat out every night. I'll get like Panera, or I'll get Thai food or lasagna, or whatever I want. I kind of treat myself to dinner every night.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I'm trying to do that. Well, I think I do it half a week at least, half a days a week. I also try to treat myself with some good meal. And for breakfast, I usually have a cup of coffee with something sweet. That's the worst way to begin your morning, I know, but I can't help it. I'm addicted to a cup of coffee in the morning.
Fun fact about me: I don't drink coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I
Good to know.
never started, never got into it.
Mm-hmm. Nice, interesting. I was always a tea drinker, but then at some point, like when I was, I don't know, 23, I started drinking coffee in the mornings. It's when I started living with my wife. Yeah, exactly. She's a coffee lover, and I got addicted too. Thank you for the food question, guys. Always good to think about food, though it's gonna make us hungry. We're gonna have to finish the stream soon anyway. Right, Jake? Because it's been more than an hour now. What do you think? How much time do we still have for questions?
Whatever you like, whatever you want to do, Rick.
Okay, let's maybe then go for about 10 more minutes and then finish the stream. Because questions keep coming. A good one from Prometheus UA, my fellow Ukrainian, asks, Rick, do you remember the article about Bush's legs and the problems of studying Eastern Europe in the United States? What does Jake think about that? Do you know the Bush's legs story, Jake?
No.
It's when U.S. Was helping Russia, and not only Russia, all the post-Soviet countries when the Soviet Union collapsed. U.S. was sending humanitarian aid for years with also chicken legs. And they started calling it Bush's legs because Bush was the president back then. Have you heard about that story? And what do you think about this?
No, I don't. I'm not familiar with this story at all.
Yeah.
So this is Bush Sr. in like 1992.
Yeah. And they were doing it for at least 3 years, and US was actually helping Russia, and then ungrateful Russians started calling US, all of those names that they are using right now, and sending rockets, missiles to Washington, as they like to put them on the cars, and say that this is a nuclear missile for Washington. So this is a story about Russians being ungrateful and never remembering their real friends and actually making enemies out of them. So I like that Prometheus UA prepared that material for me and let me tell you guys this story, because a lot of Americans don't know that story, that your country was actually saving Russian people from starvation. Not only Russian people, Ukrainian people were getting that aid too. So thank you guys for saving us from starvation back then in the beginning of 90s. That was a hard time, really hard time.
Yeah. Well, as the Soviet Union dissolved and everyone was switching from a state command economy to a free market economy, there were shortages in everything. People were not being productive. So food aid was required food subsidies came from the United States, came from Western Europe, came from the UN, and I'm sure, some famine was avoided while people of Eastern Europe were transitioning out of communism.
Yeah, and that was necessary, and that's what a country who cares about, well, I don't know if there were some hidden interests, but I doubt that. It's a humanitarian aid. Who cares about people around the world helped the ungrateful Russians who's now making US a big enemy. Never, they can never thank people.
Well, I think for the Russians, they used to be this mighty empire. The Soviet Union, they were in control. The seat of power for the Soviet Union was Moscow, and they controlled all these other countries in Eastern Europe. And to go from being a superpower equal to the United States in prestige and stature to being, a net importer of food to fend off famine, that hurts your ego, that hurts your pride. I don't think Americans would respond very well if the situation was reversed. If capitalism failed, America broke up, and then we were reliant on food subsidies from the Russians to not starve. Now that's such a ludicrous scenario to us, but to the Russians who grew up maybe in the 1960s or 70s, that's an equally absurd scenario to them. That by the 90s, their economy was so terrible, they were reliant on food imports from their sworn enemy to not starve.
Yeah, of course it was humiliating, and recognizing that your great ideas and empire failed is also almost impossible, and was impossible for them, as we can see. And they're just going the same way. Okay.
And next time it's going to be worse. Next time Russia collapses, it's going to be worse.
I really hope so, my friend. That's what we in Ukraine are dreaming of every day, that Russia will collapse and start being at wars with themselves, if they want those wars, and not with their neighbors, just with those small republics. And I doubt that it's going to be a nuclear war. What do you think about this? Is it possible if they collapse?
If they collapse and they start fighting amongst themselves, yeah, there's a decent chance there could be some kind of nuclear war, between these provinces fighting each other. I don't know. I think if the central government in Moscow loses control over regions that have nuclear weapons, then I think external powers need to go into Russia to secure them. We're not there to save or help the people. We're there to save and help ourselves. Russia is the irresponsible state that still has 6,000 nuclear weapons that are completely unnecessary. They can't even use them. And they store these nukes on trains and on barges and underground, and they're everywhere. And I'm skeptical how robust their accountability systems are. So if the central government in Moscow loses control, just send special forces in, or I'm cool with the Chinese going in and securing nuclear weapons if that's what we got to do. China can just use land routes, but we can't let warlords declare independence from Russia and then they have nuclear weapons.
Yeah, that's a bad scenario, definitely. Another question from Atomic Criffmaster. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Got another one. Do you think Ukraine's Western allies are telling them how and why to destroy Russians' permanent radar installations? Not for the West's own interest, but maybe F-16s coming soon. What do you think?
I'm sure there are Western advisors giving advice, satellite images or intelligence, what should be destroyed. But yeah, it's all about the arrival of F-16s and making sure the skies are safe for these Ukrainian planes.
Yeah, I also see that this is for that purpose. Okay, next question. Thank you guys for sending so many questions. Well, Jake Bro has good opinions and expertise, so it's obvious that there are so many questions. Thank you. If Trump was reelected, this one is from DSAID. Does Jake Bro think he could change the Constitution? He has the SCOTUS has set dictator for a day. Does this mean torch the construction?
Constitution. Yeah, Donald Trump doesn't believe
sorry.
in Donald Trump doesn't believe in the rule of law. Donald Trump is openly telling everyone if he gets reelected, there will be vengeance. He is going to arrest people. He is going to kill people. He is going to purge the national security state, the justice system. Donald Trump is a dictator.
Yeah.
And he's not a very smart one. You know, he was in the White House for 4 years, but when Trump was president, he spent all of his time watching Fox News and golfing. Like, if he was actually a competent dictator, he would have dismantled the justice system and the FBI and whoever, like, while he was in the White House, but he was an idiot. So now he's saying, well, when I get back, I'm going to do this dictatorship thing correctly.
Mhm.
And Congress is not going to stop Trump. Trump controls the Republican Party. Without supermajority votes, Congress can't do anything to stop the president if the president wants to be a dictator. Likewise, the Supreme Court. We have 3 branches of government. The Supreme Court's not going to stop Trump either. The Republican-appointed justices on the Supreme Court have already greenlit Trump to be an unchecked dictator. There's a Supreme Court case happening right now. Does the president have complete immunity from all prosecution for anything he does while he's president? Trump is saying, I have the right to kill people. I have the right to steal stuff. I have the right to do whatever I want as president, and I am immune from prosecution. Well, that's the definition of a dictatorship. And it's so transparent. It's so terrifying. So yeah, if Trump wins, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be killed. Just being honest.
Okay, let me ask a question here. Doesn't it mean that deep state has already failed, even if Trump doesn't become a president?
What do you mean? How? So you know, Trump talks about the deep states and that the 2020 election was rigged and that's why he lost. He lost because he's not popular. So in 2016, he lost by 3 million votes, but because of the Electoral College, he was still elected. In 2020, he lost by 7 million votes because he sucks. People hate him.
Yeah.
But he can't admit to his own followers that he lost a free and fair election. So he created this narrative that our elections are rigged. Even though he was president and he was in charge of the election, he says the election was rigged so that Joe Biden could win because of the deep state. So now here we are 4 years later, and Biden is in charge of the government. Biden is in charge of the elections. So if the elections weren't free, according to Trump's logic, if the elections weren't free and fair in 2020, why would they be free and fair in 2024? How does Donald Trump expect to become democratically elected if the elections are rigged like he says they are?
Yeah.
And the answer is he's lying.
Yeah.
Of course our elections are free and fair. Donald Trump is trying to win in 2024 in a free and fair election because the United States still has free and fair elections. But he's going to continue claiming the deep state rigged the election in 2020, but they're not going to do it. None of it makes any sense. It's completely stupid.
Yeah, it's completely stupid, but I was talking not about that. I was talking about a president. You said your Supreme Court. I'm not sure what word I should use that, but it all leads us to that president cannot be prosecuted for anything. It's like a total immunity. He can do anything, and it happens right now before he is reelected, right? Yeah, possibly reelected. So, I mean, okay. So it is still not finalized, right?
His felony convictions for stuff he did before he was elected president. He is being criminally charged with stuff he did as president,
Yeah.
but all of those court cases have been delayed. So he, tried to select fake electors. Trump tried to steal the 2020 election. Once again, he's an idiot. He's incompetent. So there are criminal trials for what he did to try to steal the 2020 election. But all of those have been put on hold because the Supreme Court is going to rule. Do presidents have complete immunity from criminal prosecution for anything they do as president? And Trump's lawyers in court, in the Supreme Court, are arguing the president can do anything when he's president and he can't be criminally prosecuted for it. So he argued that it's okay for the president to assassinate his political rivals. If Joe Biden, this is what Trump is arguing, if Joe Biden wants to order the Navy to kill Trump, that's legal. That's what Trump is arguing in court, that the president can do whatever he wants. He can kill whoever he wants.
He wants to make it legal. So if he wins in this court, right, then it's gonna be it. Then I think as I see it, what you call deep state is that these, let's call them governmental machines, they actually rule the country, not the presidents themselves, and they can even judge the presidents and put them in jail. So if he's gonna manage to win that trial, right, then it means they won't be able to do it, and then it means that's it. That's not a...
Well, I mean, the positive story here is that Trump is 77 years old and obese. He's not going to be alive much longer. Like, his cult is going to fade away once Trump dies. Nobody likes his kids. Nobody respects Don Jr. or Eric. Barron is like 19, and Ivanka wants nothing to do with politics anymore. So I'm hoping that when Trump expires from natural causes, I don't wish him any ill will, but he's not going to be alive much longer. And hopefully America can finally recover and normalize, and we can get a normal Republican nominee again. Because we need the two parties. We need two healthy, strong, sane political parties that deal in facts and truths. And for the last 10 years, the Republican Party has not been honest about anything. And it's sad. It's disappointing. I want two healthy, strong political parties with good ideas debating facts before the American people. But that's not what we've had the last decade. It's terrifying.
Yeah, it is. I see people in the chat are saying absolutely nuts, and it's scary, yeah. And I see, and you explain it to me more. Thank you for that, because I won't say I am really trying to understand everything daily, but when I have a chance to speak to U.S. citizens, I try to figure out. Hey, Holy Oblation, I didn't set it up, the notification about the coffees, not yet. I will do it until the next stream, but Holy Oblation in his 11 coffees asks me, sing for Jake and another raffle ticket, please. Okay, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. I sing it every time because notification plays that song, but I've been telling you this, right? You've been here already. So, Rickrolled by Holy Oblation. Thank you, Holy Oblation. Thank you for also gifting 50 memberships there before we began the stream, and for 2 super stickers there. Thank you. Okay, guys, I see there are still some... Okay, this one, I need to ask this question. I wanted to finish the stream, but I need to ask this one. If there is a major war, what is the probability of a return to the U.S. draft?
It depends. 0. I'll just say 0%. I mean, unless like American cities have been nuked,
Yeah.
Anything short of that, I don't think there would be a draft. And the reason why is America has so much capacity to recall veterans. There are so many people in the reserves and the National Guard and the inactive ready reserve and just veterans in general. Like, I got out of the Air Force over 2 years ago, and my time in the inactive ready reserve actually expired in April. So I'm not on the hook at all technically with the U.S. Air Force to be recalled. But if
Mhm.
there was a serious war, they would recall me first, and I would go. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. If the United States was at war and they said my country needed me, I would just go. So I think there's a tremendous capacity to recall people that would be willing to go, and they would do that before trying to draft anyone. So
Yeah.
I don't think the United States would ever do a draft again because forcing people to be somewhere against their will puts everyone else in the unit in danger. Like if you don't want to be there and you're being forced to be there, you can't trust any of the work that person's doing.
Yeah. Okay, and I see another good one. Jake, what do you think of Elon Musk becoming Trump's advisor? Could he screw up Ukraine's front lines?
Elon Musk was already Trump's advisor in 2017. Trump created, like a tech council or whatever, and Elon joined it. And then, Trump did something stupid or absurd, making fun of crippled people or calling veterans losers. And then at some point in 2017 or 18, Elon resigned from that economic council. But Elon loves fascism, and he would love
Yeah.
it if the United States became a fascist government. For Elon, the world's richest man, the dude is Lex Luthor. He does not like democracy because he doesn't like regulation. He doesn't like consumer protection agencies. He doesn't like election campaigns where you constantly have to give political donations to keep the politicians on your side. In a dictatorship, it's very easy. All you have to do is respect the dictator, and the dictator can snap his fingers and make anything happen for you. If you want permits, if you want subsidies, if you want, easy access or preferred treatment, in a dictatorship, all you have to do is respect the dictator's authority. You don't have to give money to anybody. So Elon loves Saudi Arabia. He loves Russia. He loves China. He's a globalist who does business all over the world. And Elon hates the bureaucracy, the red tape, the campaign donations he has to give in the EU and the United States just to do business. So Elon's attitude is that, well, if I can just make some more dictatorships in the world, I can become wealthier, I can become more powerful, and business is better and easier for me. I think that's the bottom line for Elon. I think he's a pretty despicable human being, and
Oh, yeah.
he's not a good person.
I agree with that 100%. He's a vatnik and a Muscovite, and most importantly, he is a fascist, and as you said, fascism lover, right? Yeah, he is a despicable human being. Thank you. The last one, the last question. But before asking the last question, I would ask you guys to like the stream. Maybe share it also everywhere would be good. But liking and maybe putting a comment after that, because we had Roman here today and he deserves a comment. Okay, it helps with engagement. Anyway, happy birthday to Roman once again. And last question for Jake. Jake, how can we help with Ukrainians' power? I think electricity meant in that question from Andriy. Do you have your vision how average people around the world can help us with our power shortage problems?
Everything has to be decentralized as much as possible because Russia's going to continue targeting power plants. So Ukraine needs generators. Ukraine needs solar panels. Ukraine needs batteries. That's all people can do is you can give donations to organizations purchasing those kinds of alternatives to just having a normal power grid.
Yeah, that's a good good one. Power stations also. And yeah, I want to thank you guys, rollers, for sending me money. I didn't want that, but you decided to get me a big power station so I could power up my PC from, yeah, even without electricity. Thank you for sending so much donations. That's crazy. And the problem right now is I cannot buy it in Ukraine. They are such a huge deficit right now. And the price, can you imagine? It was 82,000 hryvnias in the morning yesterday. And in the evening, I checked, it was already 94,000. So it was plus $300 on a power station that costs $2,000. That actually costs $1,500 not in Ukraine, where there's no deficit. So this will I will have to order it from Europe, I guess. Maybe actually ask 69th Different Brigade to help me with that. Yeah, I will try to figure out, but it will take time. But until then, you see, laptop setup works. It was just a few technical difficulties today in the very beginning, but after that, everything is smooth. So awesome. It's working out for now, but the situation might get worse because Russians keep striking our power stations, and they destroyed most of our hydroelectric generation and also the fuel generation, electric energy generation. I mean, so
The thermal power plants that burn coal or
Yes.
natural gas.
thermal power plants. Thank you very much. I forgot the name for them, so thank you for helping me there. Okay, Jake, don't want to keep you here any longer. I thank you for coming here today. Thank you for wishing Roman a happy birthday and actually talking to him, because you and given him that it was not an advice, it was like maybe a you asked him to keep posting stuff, and you actually give him a format, and that's a great way to do it. It's actually his format. He was doing it from the trenches, short videos, like up to 60 seconds, perfect for Instagram or TikTok, and people want to hear him. He's perfect advocate for Ukraine. Do you agree with me?
Well, he says, I'm not a soldier. People wouldn't want to see my updates or hear me anymore. But I mean, how many Ukrainians are survivors? There's got to be tens of thousands of people who have lost an arm or lost a leg or lost their hearing or eyesight or are suffering from TBI, same as him. And he can continue his journey advocating for that group, which I don't see a lot of representation on social media.
Yeah, exactly. And he could give so much experience to people. His previous experience, his current experience, which is very important too, to know what he and other soldiers who had shell shock, who had contusions, Akubara trauma is the correct word for it, what they are going through. This is very, very important, and I will also encourage him to do this. I'm trying to be careful,
Sure.
Not to push him, not to make him what he doesn't want to do, but you asking him this is awesome. I thank you for that. Not because I didn't have to do it, but because he respects you. He is, I would say, he's inspired by you and your work too, and your word and your advice are very important to him. So keep doing that. Okay.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, Jake. Now I also want to compliment you once again and thank you for your work. Once again, thank you for joining the NAFO Truck Initiative and doing such a huge, given such a huge boost to this initiative and such a huge support for our army. It means a lot to me personally, because every bit that comes to support our army is important for me as a citizen of Ukraine, because I know that that affects the survival of me and my family and all of us as a nation. So
I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here until Russia's defeated.
awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you for standing with us. Thank you for being here. And last thing to mention, I want to show this to you too. Look at this. Battle-worn Kraken patch with a flag
Black and red.
inside. Yeah. Pretty cool thing. We're raffling it. $10 for a ticket, unlimited number of tickets. So if you guys interested, if some of you still doesn't know about it, you can buy tickets. We're gonna raffle it tomorrow on the stream, somewhere around midnight Ukrainian time. That's it. Jake, people in the chat are thanking you. They were happy to see you, and they are happy with your answers. Yeah, because you give a really good expertise, as I already mentioned today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, maybe some last words for today before we go.
Continue kicking ass and not falling for any of Russia's tricks. That's all Russia has. They have mass and size, but no precision or skill or accuracy. And they're terrible people with a terrible culture. And it needs to be defeated for the safety and security of the world. And it will be. It's just a matter of time.
I believe it too. Thank you. And Slava Ukraini.
Glory to the heroes.
Thank you, Jake. And see you next time.